And we're back with couple movie watches. Today it's just me, Ryan. I'm gonna talk about Spider-Man. Will it crack over $100 million at the box office? I'm gonna give everyone my prediction. So let's jump right into the video. But before we get started, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. So let's begin. All right. Spider-Man No Way Home. Man, I am super excited about this movie. I did videos about how people are rushing to get the advance tickets for this movie. So this one I think is going to do really, really well. Sony Pictures have a modest prediction of a 3-day total of $130 million. That will be the first movie since this whole crazy pandemic to cross over $100 million. So that'll be huge for the movie business and entertainment business as a whole. I am personally excited about this film. Now, other projections have it going up as high as $175 million. We'll see who's going to be correct. Now, the other movie who did really well as well was Venom, which made $90 million domestically in its opening weekend. So Venom hasn't cracked 100 million. James Bond hasn't cracked 100 million. What else came out? Shang Chi hasn't cracked 100 million on its opening weekends. Eternal hasn't. So movies came close, even Black Widow. So they've all opened well, for the most part, but none of them have been able to crack that covenant $100 million mark opening weekend. Can Spider Man do it? So for reference, 27th Spider-Man Homecoming opened to $117 million, which was spectacular, right? But they're having projections over $117 million. This is with the pandemic and these new variants coming up, Voltron and everything else. So we'll have to see. In 2019, the sequel to the Spider-Man series, Far From Home, opened to $92 million. So it didn't open as big as the first one, but it still did very well. But I feel people are excited and hungry for this film. Now, the other Spider-Man, actually the biggest Spider-Man film out of all the Spider-Mans from Tobey Maguire and so forth was Spider-Man 3, which opened up to 151 million. This does not count inflation. We're not going to count inflation. We're just going to talk about the opening weekend, and that was $151 million. Now, the question is one, can it go past 100 million dollars? Sony believes so. I believe so too. I think this is going to be huge. Now, Sony doesn't believe it's going to go past the 151 million mark. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it at 150 to 155 million dollars. I feel like it's gonna do really, really well. I feel the buzz, I feel the excitement. I feel people want to go to the movies and see something something different. I don't know necessarily different but familiar. I feel like out of all the movies that came out this year, from Eternals to Shang-Chi to Black Widow, I think they all had a good start, but let's look at Black Widow. Black Widow came out at a time when, yes, she was a familiar Marvel character, but she was a character that already died, and the movie was already on Disney Plus, so that kind of hurt its opening weekend. Shang-Chi, even though it was a great film, no one knew the character at first, so it was kind of like a slow burn. So it kind of like it opened well, but it didn't hit that 100 million mark. It kind of like had a slow progression as far as the box office is concerned. In Eternals, we all know about Eternals. That movie, people are hit and miss with that. Even with James Bond, I feel like Venom came close, but I feel this is not Venom. This is the actual Spider-Man. This is gonna do huge numbers. If Venom opened up to $90 million, I believe Spider-Man can open up to 150, $160 million. If you look at the previous history, you look at the hunger for just entertainment as a whole, I think this is gonna do big, big numbers. Hopefully, this movie does really well because the budget is basically $200 million. So we need this to crush it to continue to see movies like this. Um, so yes, that's a it'll be good for the movie theaters, the movie industry as a whole. Because I love movies. I love going to the movies to see these big blockbusters on the big screen. Now, the other thing is how much can this movie make globally, right? Can it hit that 1 billion mark? Now, Homecoming did $880 million worldwide. Now, Far From Home did a little bit past $1 billion. Now, No Way Home, the only difference is No Way Home is going through the whole, like I said, pandemic, the new variants. Also, it doesn't have a China release, which is a huge market for the movie business, especially for a movie like Spider-Man. So it's gonna be tough for it to crack that 1 billion mark, but I think it still has a good chance. Even if it doesn't open up in China, I think it has a good chance, but the only thing is this whole different Voltron and variant or whatever new variant is out there, that might stop people from going to the movie theaters. I know some people who are gonna wait a little bit to see it until the movie theaters kind of like die down. But overall, I think this movie actually does have a chance of passing that 1 billion mark worldwide, but that remains to be seen. I think what's going to help this movie pass that 1 billion mark if it has a longer theatrical window and it doesn't get released, say, on um, online streaming, as far as rented or whatever wherever they're going to release this film at on streaming. I think if this has a longer run at the movie theaters, it's going to help a lot more um, at the box office. So I'm really hoping it does really, really well. I love the Spider-Man character. I love the Spider-Man franchise. You can click above. I did a whole video on all the Spider-Man films and where do they rank as far as like their domestic box office performance. Take a look. It's a really good video. But yeah, let us know your thoughts below. How much money you think this movie is going to open up this weekend at the box office? I definitely want to hear everybody's projections. And until next time, everybody, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment below, subscribe, and hit that like button and share and tell a friend. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.